Hello, hello, guys. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Let's see who we've got. Hello, Melissa and Cindy and Kathy and Carol and Soimea. What a beautiful name. And Lori and Cindy and Meninder. Hello, guys. Hello, Patrick and Janet and Desiree. Patrick, I've heard from the ladies, so got your email and get things going for you. Hi, Ann. Hi, Marjorie. Hello, Melissa. It's Mona. That's what I thought. Remember on the last live, I said Meninder Mona, but I remember you told me what your name was. So now I will know it's Mona. Hi, Karen. Glad you saw the notification. I'm glad you got the notification. Oh my gosh, my glasses are so filthy. And I literally just watched them. I know we've talked about that before, but I'm seriously considering getting contacts. Although the thought of putting my finger in my eye doesn't sound fun. But hello, Dawn. Always so good to see you on. Hi, Teresa and Cheryl. Oh, you're so welcome, Patrick. Anytime. Anytime. I remember living overseas for so many years and just thinking, oh, I want this, and my family was very good about always shipping things over, but, sometimes it's hard when you don't have somebody that can ship stuff. Oh, you're so welcome, Mona. I will remember it. Did you get your package yet? I know it takes a while to get things to Canada. Today is Transfer Patterns Day all day. Hi, Dee. I need you to come down here and transfer some patterns for me. Actually, Barb will probably arm wrestle you for it. You made it. Hello, Mary. Hi, Chantal. Anyway, I know I say this every Sunday, but guys, it's been a busy week. Another busy week. Oh, well, hopefully soon. I'll have to look at the tracking. Hello, Miss Molly Ann. So good to see you on. Hi, Keiko. Okay, so first on enjoying the AC in Phoenix, right, Marjorie? It's so hot everywhere. I have to say this is like the first day that I can remember in the last several weeks that it's under 90. It's actually 88 degrees right now. So might have to wear a jacket outside. Hi, Patricia. Anyway, so the first person on YouTube that commented and the first person on Facebook that commented, if you will message me what free e-packet you would like that's currently on my website. And on YouTube, it was Kay Merriman, and on Facebook, Melissa Jones. So message me what e-packet you would like, and I'll get that sent off to you sometime this evening or when I hear from you. Okay? So, I hope you enjoy everything. Mona, you'll have to post and let us see. 53, Carol. 53 in Alaska right now. You're probably loving that. Can I buy some of y'all's heat, please? Oh, goodness, Cindy. What's the temp there? I know a lot of people would love to buy rain and cooler temperatures. So, anyway. Alrighty. Oh, you're so sweet, Cindy. We're having another very hot day in the mid-90s. Linda Safranco, I know you guys are just taking it, aren't you, with that extreme heat down in that area. Phoenix, all the way over. I'm going to be in Houston the first weekend in August. So not this coming weekend, right? I hope. No, the following weekend. I will be in Houston area, actually Pearland, teaching. And it's very hot there. So hello, Gloria Bean. I always love seeing your name pop up. All of y'all's names. Hello, Yvonne from Down Under. Hello. Linda, I'll trade someone cool weather for some of this Texas heat. Right, Linda? Again, you guys have certainly had it. 84, but it's been in the 70s and so much rain. Yeah. It would be nice if you could move 70s here in New York. Wow. Wow, Debbie, that's a nice um, cooled off day. 109. Yeah, we've been having 100 plus temps like a lot of the South. So if this is your first time, I'm Sandy McTeer, by the way, and you are in my studio for Sundays in the Studio with Sandy. I try and do these at least twice a month, if not more, but twice a month at least. However, next month's another issue, which we'll talk about. I might have to do Tuesdays in the Studio with Sandy, which just made me think of that book, Tuesdays with Maury. Did you guys read that book? I love that book. It's one of my favorite books. So I actually love 90 and above too. I'm a warm weather person. As many of you guys know, I grew up in Southern California, Tennessee, but we grew up going to the beach, the pool, almost daily. So mid 70s here on the shore. Wow, that's nice. Nice. And nice in Indiana. Well, Deb, welcome, first off. And I'm glad to hear that because you guys certainly have had a lot of storms and stuff come through. Patrick said it's 70 degrees, 21 degrees Celsius in northern France. So, and Deb, I saw your pictures. Beautiful on both. Beautiful on both. And age is just, it's relative, right? It's just a number. I think, oh my gosh, I'm 55, but inside, I don't feel 55. Any day will be great as long as it's after 5, right? Oh, for the lives, yeah. Is there a flower fairy hiding in the lilies behind you? I never saw her before. Oh, her. So this is double-sided. Usually she's that way. And that was a piece actually that I did with Kelly Hornig did. Oh my goodness gracious, this was years ago. She had me and Holly Hanley and Golda Raider. Anyway, that was Kelly's piece, a wood doll cutout, and we used fabric and paint to create her. So, and then she's with my fairy wand that that my dear sweet friend made me. I just saw something else pop up on my screen. Okay. Anyway, Janet in Colorado made me the fairy wand with beads, which is beautiful. So, I thought she was part of the painting all this time. Yeah, well, I think I when I get a color off that holder, she flips around. So, hello, Karen. I bet you guys are cooking in Arizona. You sure have been. Let's see. Yeah, I don't feel 12, Patrick, but I do feel like maybe mid 30s, and not 55. I mean, the thought of like, yeah, turning 60. But again, it's just a number. It's just a number. Hi, Anne. Aw, thank you, Deb. Tell your brother I said hello. Thank you. That's a sweet compliment. Hello, Monty from Oklahoma. Okay, it's 4:10 almost. We're going to get started soon. Right, Kathy? Aren't they beautiful? I'll have to show it to you. It is this fairy wand, which is just amazing. Basically, all the beads go on here, and then she finishes it with what is it? One's a bolt, one's a nut. Anyway, so she finishes it so they don't fall off, and then puts this beautiful little fairy charm. She's amazing at beadwork and makes gorgeous jewelry, amongst other things. And anyway, I absolutely love. So, oh, well, thank you, Debbie, for taking a break from painting today. A nut. Yes, I knew it was one of them. So, hi, Judy. Anyway, hi, Anne. All right, so yes, that's my fairy wand. Let's take care of some business. So, last live we did was not last week. My brother-in-law came in town. Kind of a last minute put together thing, but my brother-in-law, hi Linda from Michigan. Hello, Linda Grass. Love the wand too. Hi, Wendy Warner. Anyway, so this is the Winging It Seascape we did. I did go back and not there. I did go back and put the sand dollar back in because I wanted to see it more. You can't see a lot of paper, but you can certainly see a lot of texture. And I love, love, love the texture on there. So anyway, we did that a couple of weeks ago. Thanks for joining. And on that live, we had 3 giveaways. So which one am I going to start with? Let's start with this one. And how about if I go ahead and pan right down with my other camera? How old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? All right. My mom used to always say, I think it was my mom or maybe my dad was always 29. So anyway, let me just move a couple things that I've got hanging out here. And I don't want to show any names just yet. Okay, so anyway, we had 3 giveaways. I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow, 7 o'clock in the morning. Tell me, short, long? I am thinking maybe there, 4 inches. What did Virginia say? Sandy, you're still a puppy. I went back to college and got a teaching certificate at 54 and taught high school for 20 years. I know. But, you know, it's just weird. Like when I was going to high school, my mom is 20 years older than me. So when I was in, let me think, when I graduated high school at 17, my mom was 37. So it's, you know, I don't know. I just have always felt younger than I guess I look. No, I'm not going short, Mona. No. Maybe if I lost 100 pounds, but no, short hair does not look real good on me. So I'm thinking about 4 inches would be good to get cut off. And the gray, you can see the gray. I am highlighting the gray today. But it will be nice to get it cut because it's been, hello, Claudette. Hi, Beverly. It's been a hot minute, like I think 4 months now, maybe, since I've had it cut. Okay, let's get on to our giveaways. Alrighty, so I had 3 giveaways, and this winner got 2 of my new Slimline stencils. This one is a heart cluster. Let's see if we can get the glare off there. And then this one is a leafy background stencil. And then also the 3-piece set that I used on that live 2 weeks ago, okay? And I put everyone's name on the wheel. I can't do it live because again, I'm me, myself, and I doing these. So I don't have a Renee to hear, to do them for me. I wish I did, but so anyway, I put all of the names on the list. And then when you guys continue to comment, so yesterday I went through both Facebook and YouTube and got any other names that I had not put on the wheel. And so this is the thing with my giveaways as well. Until the next live, which is going to be next Sunday, I need you to contact me with your mailing address. And if you don't before the next live, unfortunately, they go back into my stash to give away to somebody else. Okay? But anyway, the name that popped up on the wheel, Supron. Supron, message me your mailing address, and I will get these off to you. Okay? Now, the second was a set of water lily brushes, and this was a 1/2 inch, a number 6 fill. Oh, I grabbed the wrong brush. It's not this one. It's a cat's tongue. Okay, I'll have to grab it. Anyway, so there's 3 in this set. I don't know why. And the winner of that, Marty Mace. Marty Mace. I have your information, Marty. I will get these mailed to you with the 3rd brush that goes with it. All right, I want to put these so they don't get ruined. I'll put those over there. Okay. And then the next was I'm going to put that filbert over there so I can put it back in my giveaways. I need a Renee. I need a Renee to do all my tech stuff too. Okay. Then I had a faux squirrel. These are Dynasty brushes. I'm a Dynasty specialist. I love my Dynasty brushes. And I need to move that camera just slightly. So there's a 1/2 inch angle, a number 10 flat, and that is a number 4 flat. Faux squirrel brushes. I love the feel of these handles. Anyway, and the winner of that, Lisa. I'm not even going to attempt to say your last name, except Kowski, Sikowski. That's a lot of consonants with no vowels. Anyway, Lisa, I have your information, I believe, and I will message you. Put those over there. Okay, so I wanted to wing it today. I have some other things to show you. I did get some happy mail, but I don't think I pulled it. I got a beautiful hand-painted card from Loretta Lynn, which is, first off, I just love her name. She's got the best name, doesn't she? And she painted me this beautiful card with a manatee or 2 on it. Okay, anyway, so I do have giveaways for this live. All you have to do is like, comment, and share. And if you don't subscribe, would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate it. And then also let me tell you guys too, if you donate on YouTube with that little $ in the chat or the stars, not sure if the stars are coming up on Facebook, but all that money goes to the World Central Kitchen, which is feeding people around the world. Okay. Anyway, I have some new designs. So like the slimline stencils you saw. I have many, many different designs on my website now, and that is at sandymcteerdesigns.com. And I love this one. This is a butterfly one. I had just taken it off the laser yesterday, so I need to get these little pesky things out. Anyway, so love this butterfly trio one. So fun. And then I have a new 3-piece 3x3 stencils, and this one is the Holiday Vibes set, and then the Fall Vibes set, and then y'all saw the Summer Vibes set that I did. That's what started it all, the vibes. There'll be more. There's some botanical vibes that I haven't finished putting together, but one is a grape, a cluster of grapes, another one's a grape leaf, and then I can't remember what the other one is in there. And then, you guys, I just added these to my website. I cut those last week and was planning on using them, but I had an idea for today's lesson instead. Anyway, they are chipboard. They can be painted. They can be added to designs. They're very thin on a 0.22 chipboard. This is just etched, but you certainly could cut that out if you wanted to, but I left that detail on there so that it could be painted. But anyway, this set comes with 2 facing the left, 2 facing the right. Because you never know, you might need it to face the opposite direction and you lose the detail of the design when you flip it over, which is fine too. But anyway, so I got those up on my website with a bunch of other things. Finally got my heat tools in, which is exciting. So the other thing I had cut and was excited about was a phone stand. Let's see. So, and this is substantial. It's got a nice weight to it. So my phone, and I have a big phone. I can't show you because it's the camera above me. But it is, it's sturdy enough. I think mine's a 12 Pro Max, and it's quite heavy. So it doesn't fall backwards, which I like because I have several phone stands and they all seem to fall backwards. This one, upright, sturdy, and even pushing on that back thing, it doesn't collapse. We're going to create on this today because the other thing I did was I cut out this Monstera, is that how you say it? Monstera leaf. And I had an idea based on a color palette that I did with my membership group last week. Okay, so um, love the Hummers. The Hummers are cute, aren't they? Okay, so last week, you all know I have a membership group and we do mixed media, art journaling, decorative painting, all mixed together. And this month, we did a Matisse inspired lesson and I gave them 2 designs. But I was so inspired by the color palette. I loved this color palette. So I, at 3 o'clock in the morning, decided that I was going to paint on this phone stand and we were going to do something very similar with that color palette. Okay. And I also wanted to use this stencil. So we're going to paint on that, wing it, see what we come up with, and just have some fun. So this will go out. This leaf is going to go out with all orders. And if you order a phone stand, it goes with that. And I actually give you a smaller Monstera leaf as well, in case you wanted to do a smaller leaf many, many times. Okay, so just so you know that. All right, let me get my palette paper, which is somewhere. It is somewhere that is not here because I moved it. So give me a sec. To grab that palette. I have three workstations set up in my studio, and inevitably I grab everything but the thing I need. Okay, so let's get started. Let's see what Dee wrote. I did a bunch of my market baskets again because I was out of my other varnish, had to finish off with my soft touch. I love the feel of that soft touch varnish. It is amazing. And Dee's talking about this. This was my go-to varnish for everything, especially all my art journaling. And they don't make this anymore, but you can get soft touch varnish in the Duraclear. So, and I just saw Patrick's thing. Creativity takes courage. That's quite true. I may miss a little because I always stop before even starting. Right? No problem. I am bringing the phone stands to OKC. Yes, I will. Anyway, creativity does take courage, right? And a lot of times I think we get in our heads. I'm speaking from experience. Okay, what do I want to do first? I grabbed some colors because again, I wanted to play around with that color palette from my page. So when I'm painting on MDF or wood, I will do a coat of multi-purpose sealer on my wood first. Okay, this is MDF. You're going to get some grain come up from it, and then also wood as well. You will. So a little multi-purpose sealer. Say that fast 10 times. Paint it, let it dry. You can also mix it with your color if you want to. And for the background on this one, I used cactus flower because I have to tell you guys, when I did this design, I used cactus flower and I floated joyful pink on it. And I'm like, oh, I love that color combination. So it just made the cactus flower more pink. And I love pink. Anyway, so I base coated it again, multi-purpose sealer, cactus flower, let it dry. I want to put that stencil on, but I'm going to first do that with warm white so that I can put a barrier between the pink and the green. Okay, so we will put a little there and get a stencil brush. Now, I will say I love this leaf that I cut, and it's got all the nice little dots and everything in it, which you could put back on, and I'll show you, I think. Let's get that little plastic out of there. Okay. These are fragile. See how fragile those are? It might come off if you manhandle it too much, because this was in here upside down. Take it out. Now you can use this part as well, laying it down, stenciling around it. You can spritz paint over it and get the design, but I'm going to use this one, and I think I'm going to, let's move that out of the way. Do the white first. This is warm white. And let's kind of put maybe almost a full one there. So I'm using a 1/2 inch or 5/8 Stencil Pro brush from Dynasty. Let's load that up with some warm white. Take a dry, clean paper towel and wipe it off. And then, oops, a little too much. Now, around these little bits that are a little more fragile, I'm going to actually pull in. I usually do soft circular motions, but I'm going to pull in with that stencil brush so that I do not remove them from the stencil. And if they fall off, it's an easy fix to paint a line into that leaf, but I'm going to try not to do that. Okay, so there's one. And then let's do maybe a 1/2 of one there, or not even half. Oops, too much paint, Sandy. You can kind of hear that too. I mean, just kind of pounding it down more than that soft circular motion. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe that now. I see that that went on the back of that stencil, so I'm gonna get that off. So when I lay it down, it doesn't transfer. And then let's do one here. Now this is gonna be a lot of leaves on here. I probably won't take the time to paint all of them, but in my mind, I'm kind of thinking it would be cool, like I did with the bee several weeks ago, to actually paint it to make it look like it's a Monstera leaf instead of just a green leaf from a stencil. And just adding some details to it, because I think that's quite cool to show. So see, that one got a little off. You can always come back in with that background color. And then let's do one there. And again, just kind of pull that. You could tape it in place, but you know, I typically don't. Sometimes I'm a very lazy painter, creator, maker. Okay, I'm digging that. I think I will go this direction. I just flip the stencil over and I'll go that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try and get that odd number in there. I kind of like it that way. Okay. And then we're going to have to lay it back down and put the green down. And for the green, I'm going to base coat with some sour apple. Again, that's what I used on that page with my group, and I loved, loved, loved that color combination. Okay, and then maybe one down here. Okay, and then we can't forget the foot. Now the foot will go in, and you also can't forget the back. So, you know, if you're doing a phone stand, I would paint both sides and maybe paint 2 different designs. This one's going to be very summery. Hello, Deborah Wallman. Wallman, is that how you say it, or Wallman? Anyway, so we have to do something with this, and I think because it's going to be that way, I'm going to do the leaf at an angle that way. And just do one big full one. Since we don't have a full one on here, I think a full one on here would be nice. Okay. So let's move that to the side. I am going to be really bad and do that, because guess what? I am down to like 2 bottles of warm white. I've got to order paint. Okay, so baby wipes work great on your disposable palette there. Okay, let me get another stencil brush because I don't want that to be a lighter green. And so again, this is a half. Okay, cool. I'm going to get out some sour apple. And then I'm going to lay this back down, start up here. I'm sure it's dry by now. Give it a little dry test. Line it up. Hopefully everything will line up. And if it doesn't exactly, oh, got to flip it over. If it doesn't exactly, that's okay. You can always come back in with the background color and fix it up. Brush into the sour apple, swirl it around. Hi, Deb Antonick. Oh my goodness, so good to see you, stranger. I know. Got to catch up soon. Okay. Can you paint a different design on the back and switch them around? You absolutely can. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we're going to, again, paint this green. That sour apple. And I am, again, pulling toward the center. We're going to, you know, dry brush and float some color on here, I think. That's what's in my head anyway. Okay. And I might need to do 2 coats. We'll dry it in between if we do. I'm not much of a stippler when I stencil. It does not really work with my hand very well. Hurts my hand actually. But with this, I'm pulling it more than I'm stippling it. Let's get that little guy back in place. And if a little white shows through, I'm not bothered by that at all. In fact, you could do it and create a little bit of a shadow on purpose or a highlight. But I'm thinking I'm going to use what I used on my journal page with my group, and that's that joyful pink. Okay, that's the one I think I flipped over. So let's go over here. Again, load it up, wipe it off. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do this one. A little sliver. So like I said, I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, and my appointment is at 7 a.m. So early. Oops. Didn't go all the way over it. That's okay. I can take the background color and erase that. But let's see. I do want to make sure I don't have paint on the back of that stencil. So I'm going to take a little paper towel and just give it a little rub. Okay. So I'm not sure on this one if I did. It's turned over. We'll load it up, wipe it off. Oh, thank you, Deb. You're very welcome, Debbie. Again, I love winging it. Typically, we'll just wing it in my art journal, but I've been loving these projects where I don't really have a lot in my mind. Maybe this time I at least had a color palette in my mind, which isn't always the case. It is that way. Load it up, wipe it off. Oops, those moved. That's okay. Okay, so there we have our first. I love those colors together, don't you guys? Love them. Okay, so I'm going to dry this real quick with my heat tool just to make sure it's completely dry. I'm not worried about, you know, the color variation and stuff in those because I'm going to put quite a bit of color on. Get my drawer out here so I can stick that in there. Okay. Now let's do that again. I just want these to be a little bit brighter for me to then tone them down. Okay, so since I just did that one, let's go ahead and start on that side. Okay, so load it up, wipe it off. Again, I'm just pulling from the edge. I was worried when I cut it, you know, when I made the size that I didn't leave enough space to be able to pull it in, you know, because you don't want it to go outside your stencil there. So a little bit brighter, not much difference, but let's go ahead and do this one since it's also turned over. I think it'll look pretty, you know, shaded and dry brushed to look a little bit more like a Monstera leaf. Alrighty. Now let's do that same thing. Since you're going to flip the stencil over, I want to make sure that I don't have any paint on that other side. Okay, now we'll go right back up here, lay it in place, hopefully. Wipe it off. And just kind of pushing it right to the center and then bringing that color to the center. Oh yeah, much better. Much better with the a second coat. Hello, Barbara from Texas. Hope you're staying cool. Bye, Claudette. See you next week. I will be here next week, guys, because in August, I am home all of like 8 days, the whole month. And I am not home or I'm traveling home on Sundays. So I will have some lives, but they're going to be kind of a sporadic. I might just have time for one because in addition to that, I have lessons with my membership group. So it's going to be kind of crazy on the lives. I will be, like I said, in Texas teaching, and then I will be in Oklahoma for OKC Painting Palooza. I already did that one. And if you are not familiar with OKC Painting Palooza, let me just pop this little picture up for you. It is a convention held in Oklahoma City. It is an amazing convention. There's nothing like getting together with people and painting in person. I know many of you can't travel, but if you can and you're looking for a convention to go to, highly recommend this one. Those are my 2 projects that I'm teaching. So I will be at OKC Painting Palooza in August. I have 2 classes and a make and take, and then I also have a 3 booth spaces that will be filled with a bunch of fun stuff, a lot of new stuff. And then, did I do that one down here? I don't think so. And then we usually do an annual anniversary beach trip to St. Simon's, but this year we're going to St. Augustine. I think I mentioned that to you guys last week, so I want to put a little bit more green there. Okay, I'm digging this color palette. What do you guys think? Okay, so let's get out some, I'm going to get out a little bit of cactus flower just to do a little bit of tidying up. Some joyful pink. Put that on my palette. Guys, do yourself a favor and get rid of these little things. Your paint bottle will shut a lot better. All right. Now, one thing you can do with this part of the stencil is, I don't know that I'm going to use it, but I want to show you. You can lay that in place. First off, it'll tell where you maybe need to do a little cleaning up in the back. But, and I might use this, I don't know. But this small stencil brush, this is a 3/8 Dynasty Stencil Pro. I'm going to pick up some of that cactus flower. And I'm going to, now I probably should do warm white first. But let's see if we can get this to show up. I had just planned to paint them on here and there, but not everywhere. But let's see. Okay, that's kind of cool. I don't even need to use the warm white. You see that? And then again, makes it look like there's holes in that leaf. And let me zoom in just a little because I realize I'm not real close on the camera. So I am going to just turn it on the side to get those little slivers. Okay, that's stinking cute. I almost didn't cut those as part of the thing, and I almost just took them off, but I like that. Okay, that needs to be flipped over. So we'll use this there, a little bit more. And I'm kind of touching and pulling into the center of that leaf just so I don't go beyond. But if I do, it's an easy fix. Green paint. Okay, that might not have any, but I'm just going to move it up a little so it's not even on the leaf so I can get some of these bigger ones. There. Okay. And then let's just make sure this is dry. I'm going to flip it over. Do that on that side. And put some of that there. And I guess if it goes outside, it's going to go outside onto the background anyway. And I just don't want it to go onto the leaf color. Alrighty. Now, let's come in. They say snakes and lizards are taking cover from the heat. I bet. I bet anything to get out of that sweltering heat. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up a little bit of the white, although I kind of like it. That's a nice little shine. You could even do that. You could do your stencil and then shift it slightly, like I've shown you guys before on lives where lessons where I do a little shadow automatically with that stencil. Okay, so I'm digging that. Now, oh, I need to do this one. Hello. Because I do think I will paint this one for sure. But I know that I probably won't do all the details for all of them, or we'll be here till 6 o'clock tonight. Okay, and then let's clean up that right there. A little bit of an angle brush, and that cactus flower, get in there. Alrighty, now let's make sure everything is dry. I know, right, Jerry? Tanya, I am so excited you're going to be at Palooza. It will be so awesome to see you again. Oh, I wish you could too, Eileen. I wish everybody could go to Palooza. It's a fantastic convention. I'm looking forward to the one next year in Chattanooga. That one is in June of next year. Okay, let's zoom in just a little. And again, I'll try and keep my palette so that you can see it. I am going to do, I think first, let me think. I usually do my cast shadows with Payne's Gray, but I'm kind of thinking I might do it with the Joyful Pink. Let's see. I think Joyful Pink is what I'll use. So I have a number 4 flat. I have water in my brush. Okay, I'm just going to kind of work that in. And then a little bit of Joyful Pink. Work that in. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this little cast shadow is going to look like. And I want to do it before I, is that dark enough? Oh, that's kind of cute. I want to do it before I float that color on to lift it. Okay, don't know if I like that. I'm going to do one over here with some Payne's Gray. And see if I like it better. I could even use a mix of Payne's Gray and Joyful Pink. So you guys tell me in the comments, Payne's Gray or Joyful Pink. Whatever it's going to do to lift that off the surface, make it look like it's lifted up. Joyful Pink, Payne's Gray. I will wait and look and see what you guys say. Payne's Gray, Joyful Pink as my cast shadow floating. Joyful Pink. Okay, Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray, Payne's Gray, Payne's Gray, Payne's Gray is winning. Okay, so that's what I thought. I do like it with the pink. I don't know that it translates with what I want it to do. I want it to look like it's lifted up off that surface. So I'll put a little bit in there. And I find it much easier to do with inky paint on a number 2 or 4 flat. Just kind of pull that up in that. And then we can put it on the inside there. There'd be a little shadow there. And then the stem. Sometimes you can get too much water and it doesn't stick. You could also use some Josanya fast drying glaze medium or glazing medium or flow medium will work great. Okay, so let's get a little bit more Payne's Gray. And I will do at least all the cast shadows because it's one of my favorite things to do. In fact, on my piece that I did, this one we did neurographic art, which I shared with my group last year or the year before. We did a project. But those cast shadows just elevate and lift. And I'm all about them. All about them. Can't get enough of them. A little bit more color. And a lot of times I go a little wimpy with the color. But, I mean, you really could put a nice thin layer of gray. Payne's Gray is my go-to. And we will take care of those little thingies in the middle. Again, like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 leaves. So I'm going to concentrate on doing at least one, showing you how I would make it look a little bit more dress it up a little bit. How about if I say that? And I will definitely post a picture of it on my page, on my Sandy Mateer Designs page, on Facebook, and on my website. So, all right, let's get a little shadow in there. And then on this one, I'm just going to go right over that joyful pink. That one got a little wide. Okay, there we go. All right, let's make sure everything is dry. What type journal? Patricia, my go-to journal, I have it right here. Let me grab it. It is. I do carry these on my website. You can get them a lot of different places. My go-to is the Mixed Media by Grumbacher In and Out journal. I like being able to take my pages out of my journal, like you can see here, you know, to create on both sides. And if you don't have a journal where the pages come out, I do have a lesson on my page, on my YouTube channel, as also in my membership group, but where you can cut it. I show you how you can cut it from a regular journal. But I love the paper. I love the weight. It takes a lot of abuse. And so that's the one I highly, highly recommend using. Okay, let's come in with sometimes it's hard to decide where to put the shadows. You look great. Okay, that's a really good point. In fact, Barbara, I just did a lesson with my group on this, on shadows and putting things in. So if you can imagine, like, let's just say the light's coming from about 2 o'clock. Typically when I look at a piece, if something's hanging, you know, kind of like that, that's where I would put the shadow. I don't do it with the light coming from this direction, and I don't do it on both sides to make it look like it's outlined. The thing is, if you're having a difficult time deciding where you want the shadow to go, first off, think about, okay, where is my light coming from? Is it coming from 2 o'clock? And if it is, then everything that's down on this side is going to reflect. So put it on, leave it, and then if you're like, that looks off or wrong, then it probably is. Okay. Alrighty. I say 2 o'clock because Maxine Thomas, all of her light sources on her pieces come from 2 o'clock. I don't even think about it until I'm done painting it to decide where my shadows are going to go. Alrighty, I'm sitting here fiddling. I need to stop. Okay, let's go on to some, let's do a little shading. So I'm going to come in with my 1/4 inch angle. Thank you, Molly Ann. So my 1/4 inch angle, Nancy Stovall. I cannot wait, Nancy. Look forward to seeing you in Texas soon. So this is my black gold 1/4 inch angle. I'm going to put on my palette some Plantation Pine, my go-to dark green color. But I'm also kind of thinking that I want to do some dry brushing. And if I do, I'm going to get out some white. And I have warm white that I did initially, but this is titanium white. And then I might do a wash, maybe, of green gold because it just elevates things, color. We'll see. If you don't have green gold, you could use like citron green. But let's come in with that 1/4 inch angle. I am going to pick up a little bit of water, and on the toe of that brush only, I'm going to work that in on the toe of the brush. Okay, so let me think which leaf I want to do so that my hand's out of the way. I think I'll do this one because it's a little bit bigger, but I'm going to And it can be a little messy float. It doesn't have to be, if it goes over, I should say, if it migrates over a little, that's okay. So I'm just going to go down that edge because I'm going to dry brush, and that's going to help fix some things up. Those little loops I'll also take care of. I'm like, which color am I in? Now, you could leave it just stenciled. You don't have to, I am going to pull that in because I don't want it too dark on that side. But see how that just kind of elevates that to a different level. You could leave it like this, totally fine. And it would be decorative and fun and cute. But son has been fixing my door and locks today. Oh my. Well, welcome, Bonnie. Glad you're here. Messy floats, you can do that. I think a lot of times, like I told you guys last week or the week before, you know, we get so down on ourselves about floating. It can change the look of a piece. You know, even just the cast shadows changes the look of the piece. But if we get so fixated, oh, I can't do that. I don't like to float. Remember, I told you have to give yourself a pep talk and say, okay, I get to float today. And it's going to be the best floating day I've had. Give yourself a pep talk. Now, it's going to look a little strange. I'm going to probably come in and do a little wash on the inside. I just want to turn it so I can keep my hand out of the way for you. Meaning the plantation pine. You could go up to a 3/8 angle, but I really don't want the color to take over too much. I love that sour apple. What did I see there? Hi, Fran. I love these colors too. They're fun and summery. Oh, and let me get out my my handy dandy mop, which is my IPC medium soft flat top. If you want to soften your floats, a mop brush works beautifully for that. Or you can use your fingers like I do often. Can't see, this hair is right in my face. Okay, again, just kind of soften that look. And if your brush starts to drag, you know it's time to pick up just a little bit more water or medium to get your brush to let that paint come off. Okay, so what I will do is pick up a little bit more water, and here I'm just going to mix where I was loading my brush, and that way I can come in. Now these little guys in the center are gonna just be in the way for a while, so I will come back in and put those back in. I need a little bit more. Okay, just a little wash of that plantation pine. Okay, so again, just gives it some nice depth, right? So now I'm going to come in with the plantation pine on the toe of that brush. Actually, let me wash it first because I did that on the entire brush. I'm so glad, Virginia, that you picked up on that. But yes, the Barbie craze. Oh, I love that. Linda Park said, sometimes in classes, I have to silently lecture myself to just try, right? I give it a pep talk instead of a lecture. But it does help. So I'm just going to do that little loop right there to bring that out even more. And again, when we come in and dry brush, it'll fix up a lot of these maybe not so great floats. So I've got quite a few there. That little dip. And again, you can kind of soften that with your mop brush. Another thing when you're loading that angle brush, if you sit here and you do this 1,000 times or even 25, a lot of times basically what you're doing is you're drying that paint out. So try and do it just a couple of times and then move on. I'll do that, and the reason I just said that was I was noticing that my paint was not coming off my brush, even though it was there on my palette. And that's because I sat here and did that too many times. So all right, that's a really bad one right there, but that dry brushing, thank goodness, is going to take care of it. Okay, let's take care of some dry brushing, or excuse me, some shadows, veins down the center. And with that, I'm going to use, trying to think, a 3/8 angle probably. I think phone stands make a great, yes, great gift for anybody. Okay, so plantation pine, but definitely for young teens, girls, although it would never be on the stand because it's usually in their hand, right? So from this stem here, I want to do a little wash of color. This is plantation pine. It's a little on the wimpy side. I might do this after I dry brush. In fact, I think I probably should. But I do like those little veins that go in on those monstera leaves. Like that. Okay, let's dry brush first. I think they'll show up better and it'll look better. So I'm going to come in with a medium mezzaluna. And let me look because I thought I had a small mezzaluna here as well. I do. Okay, so I have a small and a medium. So I'm going to take that and get some white paint, work it in. This is titanium white. Wipe it off. And again, I'm not worried about those little things in the center. Right now, they're in the way. And y'all know how I am about things in the way. I just go over them and bring them back in. So a little bit of white. Too much white. I don't know, maybe I won't even put those veins in. You could use a lighter green, but since I'm thinking in my head about doing that wash of green gold, the green gold is going to be my highlight. And even though it goes over the dark areas as well, when it goes over that lighter, whiter, brighter area, oh, it just sings. It's pretty. So little soft circular motions. Okay, I'm digging that. Hello, Marty Mace. Well, what you did miss is that you won one of the brush sets from last week's live, or the week before. So, but welcome. Okay, so I'm going to get, oh, I probably should just stick to that 3/8 angle. I will. I'm just going to rinse it out. Okay, and I'm going to pick up the tiniest touch of that green gold, like the tiniest touch. And it's going to be so yellow and pretty on that white. Oh, I love that. It's fantastic color. It's very, very strong. So you need just a dot, very, very little, as you can see there on my palette. Okay. Now I am going to come in while I'll let that set up for a second. I'm going to come back in with that cactus flower because I did go a little outside the line there. This got a little on the big side with that, not green, Sandy, with that float of color. So your background color is a great eraser to fix things up. Okay. Now let's dry this just to make sure it's completely dry. Right. Mop brushes are awesome. Okay. Hello, Denise. So good to see you on. Are you going to be in Oklahoma? Okay, I'm going to come back in with the small mezzaluna now with some of that white. Load it up, wipe it off. And I do like that a little dry brushing of that white here and there, but it's missing something. Let me think about it for a second. I feel like we need to bring in some turquoise color, like maybe some Bahama blue. Very tropical. Again, don't worry about those things in the center. I'll take care of them in a minute. I might do one leaf today. But even with that wash over it, that's green gold still kind of shines through. I love that. Let's get a little bit brighter right on that right there. And then in the center. Okay. So let me hold that up so you can see it's not white. It's got a nice little green tint to it. I'm going to get out some Bahama blue, a very old bottle of Bahama blue. Right, Molly Ann, that green gold is so amazing, but the whole line is. It is my go-to favorite line. Okay, so Bahama blue, and let me think, do I want to dry brush it on or wash it on? I think I'm going to wash it on. So back to that number 4 flat, a little bit of Bahama blue, thin down with some water. Oh yeah. Okay, let me see if that's showing up. Just a little there. Maybe I shouldn't brush it so hard with my finger to make it go away. But just a little bit of that Bahama blue, turquoisey color. Peacock teal would be pretty. Okay, I don't want it to be splotchy though. And holding it up so you can hopefully see it a little bit. On my camera, it's looking like it's a very white leaf, but it's not. It's actually got some nice green color to it. I am going to come in, I think, I did the green gold, but I think I'm going to put a little wash of this, going back to our base color, which was sour apple. I'm just going to kind of shimmy that around here and there, but not everywhere. And then I'm going to use a liner brush. So what do I have here? 15-aught micron. I'm going to get some sour apple. So we definitely want water in our brush. Anytime you use a liner brush, a little bit of water, get that paint to come right off. A little bit of white. I'll just kind of work that in. I might even just take a touch of that green gold actually too much sandy. Make a little bit lighter green. I think instead of floating that, I think what I might do is just do like an implied stem and stems that go off. And then just soften. I don't want too much detail. It's a little bit more white. Kind of help it along. Okay, this brush is not working. So I'm going to switch to I only have 1,000 of them. This is a number 2 rigger. There we go. And you got to work too hard. Just change the brush. That'll help with those little things I'm going to put back in, because I don't know if I'm going to put them back in where the stencil was or if I'm just going to improvise and put them in differently. Okay, like that, but needs a little more. Needs a little green gold. It's going to make it a little brighter, a little more yellowy, and a little bit more dry brush. So those little holes in the center, again, will help take this to looking more like that Monstera leaf. I'm trying to cover up some of them because I wish I hadn't put them in, but that's all right. Okay, so back to the original color, which is cactus flower. Get a little bit of water. And I am going to put one there. Too much paint. There. Okay, so see how that looks, because it's that background color, it looks like there's a hole in that leaf. You can do the same thing with any leaf you paint. Use that background color. But let's make this stand out a little bit more. So we'll take that, let's see, I have a small 1/8 inch angle. It's quite tiny. So you can't have a whole bunch of paint on it, but I do want to get in there with a little bit of the Joyful Pink. And I think I'm going to take a little bit of Payne's Gray to make that darker. Okay. And we're going to put a little shadow on the inside. It's kind of hard when you get to these little ones. Just come up on the toe a little bit to get in there and cast a little shadow on them. And then I'm going to come back with that 1/4 inch angle with some plantation pine on the toe, work that in, and then right under that little cutout, if you will, a little shading underneath it. I might put a little float of that, yeah, plantation pine right down the center there. Okay, and then I'm going to come in and I really want to kind of accent that a little bit more. Those little, again, help it make it look dimensional instead of just flat. That right there is really bugging me, so I'm going to improvise, and I'm going to bring in some background color right there, like a little triangle of it. Okay, just looked a little heavy. A little heavy. Okay. So, and I do love that Bahama blue. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and paint the rest of the leaves, but showed you how to do that one. I do want to go around the edges, I think, with that joyful pink, because this color in here is a little harsh. Let me show you another thing you can do to tone it down. Let me get a small brush. And instead of titanium white, I'll do warm white. A little bit of warm white, wipe off almost all of it. And in the areas, like I have a bigger area here, if you wanted to tone that down, you could just give it like a little frosted look. You could stencil it. I think stenciling, you might have a little, it might be a little too busy. Polka dots would be cute though. Diamonds would be cute. Okay, so see how that frosted look just took that pink down just a little bit. I like the cactus flower. It is a little on that stronger coral pink side. So a little bit of that would be fine here and there. But I do want to give it a little shading. So, baby wipe. Wrap it around your index finger. Push that right into the palm of your hand. I think so too. When all the leaves are done, I think it'll be super cool. And I'm going to keep painting, but there's no sense in me sitting there doing all those and being on camera for 3 hours. Y'all can go back and watch that one. And then when I post the picture, you can see that on my Facebook page. Okay, so the ball of my finger, I'm going to go into that joyful pink and run back and forth just like I would if I were loading an angle brush. All right. And I do want it, I know I want to get it there. I'm not sure if I want to go over the leaf like I normally do. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go there. Look how that, I mean, talk about Barbie, right? Those colors. I love it. Now this side I am going to go over the leaf just to see what happens. And it actually just makes it, those colors together are gorgeous. Sour apple and joyful pink. My new favorite. Yeah, I don't like it up there. Get all the way around here. And then same thing on the foot. So like I said, this week, the phone stand is going out with 2 sizes of leaves, but in every order that goes out this week, it's going out with a leaf. So last week was a teacup, which is super cute. Okay, and then here you just kind of run that right along where the cord would go through. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to probably keep painting that. When you put your phone stand together, I highly recommend painting that. Works great on the edges with just your finger. Unless you kept it brown, I never do. I tend to always paint it. Okay, but nice that you can stick your cord through there, comes out the bottom to charge it. But anyway, how fun and summery and very Barbie is that, right? When you're done with something like this, you definitely want to varnish it. It's going to scratch, so if it's one thing that you constantly take in and out, you're probably going to want to make sure that this is varnished nicely. The other thing I have to tell you guys too, when you're painting these phone stands, is if you get any paint up in here and your phone stand won't fit, you can take, like meaning this won't go into that, a nail file, and that will just get the paint, any paint buildup that's in that little slot. Okay, so I think that's fun. Again, this would work fine, but giving it a little bit more dimension would be cool as well. So let me come back up here. Oh, thank you, thank you. Water droplets. Ooh. Do you want to do a water droplet? Do you guys want to do a water droplet? Let me know. Let me know. We could do one real quick. I think that would be fun. Let's do a water droplet. I'm up for that. Okay, so let's zoom in so you can see my hot mess of colors here. And we'll come in with that 1/4 inch angle. Wherever I have that, Sandy, where did you put it? Okay. So I'm going to take some of the Payne's Gray on the toe of my brush. I'm using the 1/4 inch angle. Sure, why not, right? Okay. Little tiny touch of plantation pine with that Payne's Gray. And let's put it, I do want to do it on the leaf that I have painted so that you can see that. Okay, so we're going to put it right here. And we're going to do just a little C stroke. But it's a U. Is that close enough? And then a little upside down U, right? We're going to come in with that inky. I usually use an angle brush, but since it is tight, I'm going to actually use this rigger and come in with some very inky white. I think I have a lesson on my YouTube channel with a water droplet, if I'm not mistaken. Then less inky. A little dot. Oh, I think I messed up the dot. Oh, I did. Doggone it. Let me get that green in there. My dot went rogue. Little highlight of white. I keep touching it because I want to soften that look, but then I'm making it bigger. Okay, so there's my water droplet. All right, guys. I will, like I said, post a picture. I'm gonna have to clean up that water droplet a little. And then I can see I got some paint on the edge there, but background color is a great eraser. Again, you want to take out a notch on a leaf, use your background color like I did on that. I looked at that monitor. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks so much for joining me again. I will go back and look at questions and comments. And so let's see, Patrick said, vivid colors like these are wonderful for a colorblind man like me. I've always been attracted to vivid colors. Oh, that's awesome. Both of my brother-in-laws are colorblind. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for being here. Like I always tell you, get those brushes out, get that paint out, do something creative. If you're in a creative rut, base coat something, get that momentum going to be creative. I will be back on Sunday, next Sunday actually, because I will not be here at all in August on Sunday, okay? But I will pop in and chit chat with you guys here and there when I can, but I'll let you know, okay? All right, I'm going to post a couple things. Again, just a little reminder that OKC Painting Palooza, their website's there at the end, okcpaintingpalooza.com. You can check out all the classes and everything. I have some classes coming up, and I have those on my website. So I'm teaching next weekend in Houston. Yay. Next weekend. Not this weekend, the next weekend. First weekend in August. So excited about that. And then I'll be in California. Actually, I'm not going to California. I'm going to be Zooming with California. So anyway, y'all have a fantastic day. I'm going to leave you with this